Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition with your favorite college for free coach, Coach T, the college prep boss. I am here to just shed some light, add some insight, because I know we've all heard the news about um, the impending news. Oh gosh, hold on. Let me put my phone on silent because, of course, it will wait till I go live to want to ring. So I'm not gonna be before you long. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this down and give little daily snippets so that you can process a little bit at a time. Because although the news is big, there are many layers to it, and you, depending on where you fall in the grand scheme of student loan debt, there are different aspects and ways you can look at it, how it impacts you, how to get prepared for it. Because many people probably stopped at, oh, wow, student loan debt cancellation. Oh, I fall within that range, not knowing or understanding or reading. There are things you will need to do to be ready and be prepared. So, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, you should have heard the news. But I'm going to just at least give just a quick overview recap of what, in essence, is being um, what's defined in this announcement with the student debt cancellation. Now, let me also say this: I am not here to debate anybody's thoughts, political thoughts, personal thoughts, whatever, on whether or not it's a good idea or not. We're not talking about that. So if that's what you think we're talking about, go ahead, skip this message, move on. If you want to leave comments about that, skip the message, move on, because that's not what we're talking about. I am addressing those who do qualify, or those who are looking into seeing if they qualify. Like I said, there are different layers to this. So let's just go ahead and get started, because again, my intention is to keep these short and sweet. All right. So, yes, we heard the news. Many people are celebrating, some aren't, whatever, not debating that. But key takeaways: we know that the student loan forgiveness applies to those making $125 or less a year. And there are two different levels on forgiveness. There's a $10,000 level, a $20,000 level. So $10,000 will be forgiven if you did not receive a Pell Grant while you were in college. $20,000 is the opportunity, up to $20,000. These are the maximum thresholds if you did receive a Pell Grant. So I'm going to come back and give you some action steps around that piece. But that right there is the overarching qualifier that's been set for the student debt cancellation. Now, those who are paying student loans, or you're in the repayment period, the pause of your payments have been extended to the end of the year. Now, some of you may be saying, well, mine haven't paused. I'm going to deal with non-federal loans. I think I'm going to do that segment tomorrow, because I've gotten a lot of questions around that: non-federal loans, private loans. What does this mean for me? So we're going to address that tomorrow, not today. That's why I said there are many layers to this, because as you can imagine, just as the college admissions process is complicated and is not a straight line, same thing with the federal loan, student federal loans. There are different types of federal loans that exist. So that's why I'm breaking this up into segments as well. So let's go back to just looking at the fundamental qualifiers. Like I said, $125,000 a year. So that means you need to have your taxes filed, because there needs to be a way to verify your income. And that is usually the best way. And I'm sure that's what they're going to require. If you have not filed your taxes, you need to get on top of that. Keeping in mind, there was a backlog with IRS. So what you're looking at on your taxes, there's a line called adjusted gross income. AGI is the acronym that's used. Get with your tax professional, because that ultimately defines what your taxable income is. So the income threshold is $125,000 per year or less. And I believe it's for married couples, $250,000. Okay. So you need to first determine if you meet the income threshold. If you don't meet it, I don't have anything to tell you on that piece, but that's what you're looking at. Now, so that's one action step. You want to check your taxes and you want to look at what your adjusted gross income line is, because I believe that is the number they're going to use, because that's the number that you're taxed off of. From there, you then want to find out, because some of you may have been out of school for a while, you may not remember if you had a Pell Grant or not, or what your loan details are, and all those pieces. You actually can download like a loan transcript, and it basically gives you the history of your student loan. So you need to log into your account. So log into your federal student aid account, FSA, at studentaid.gov. Studentaid.gov. You want to log into that account, and you want to look at your you can look at a lot of different things. You want to look at your aid summary. It breaks down what your financial aid was during your matriculation in college. You want to look at that. You want to download it. I believe in downloading, having my own records, because if something go funny with that system, I want to be able to show, bam, I got my data right here. You ain't got to tell me you lost it. I got a copy of it. So download your information. You also can there was I think there were two tabs. There was one that says Pell Grant, and there was one that said loans. So you want to look at both sides. You can click on Pell Grant, and it'll tell you, if you'll basically see an amount, and it's going to tell you how much you received for your Pell Grant. So if you couldn't remember, you can log in there and you'll able to see how much you receive for Pell Grant, if you received a Pell Grant at all. And then you also get to see how much you got in student loans, the type of loans, all those other data points. So you want to log in to your federal student aid, also called FSA, at studentaid.gov. If you don't know your login password, and of course, you got to go through that whole process of getting that reset or set up. You shouldn't have to set it up. You should already have it, because you were paying. Hopefully, you were paying your student loans. So that's what you want to do. The other step you want to take is you want to go to the Department of Education website, because this is not going to be an automatic process for everyone. It would just be too easy. Some people will have to apply, because you will have to verify your income, because you are not on an income-based program. The federal government doesn't have record of your income or anything like that. So you will have to apply. If you want to know when the application process will begin, you can sign up for notifications by going to the Department of Ed website. So you're going to go to ed.gov //subscriptions. So it's only one forward slash, you guys. So ed.gov /subscriptions with an S. That is where you can select. I think the first option on there is federal student aid. I mean, not federal student aid, federal student loans. You want to click the type of notifications you would like to receive in your email box. So that is something you want to do, so you can be part of the notification process on when the applications are released. Because I think the ETA, they're saying, is somewhere around the first part of October. If you ever worked with the government, worked for the government, this process is not going to be simple. It's not going to be something that's quick. So pack your patience, pack your patience, pack your patience. All right. Now, so that's the second step you want to take. The next step you want to take is you want to review your payment history. Again, I believe in having a copy of all my data and not being dependent upon somebody else telling me what they have or what they don't have. Keep your own records, keep your own copies, because things happen. All right. That's just reality. So review your payment history. Here's the bigger reason why this is important. You could potentially qualify for a refund if you made payments during the time you didn't have to make payments. So if you recall, during the pandemic, one of the things they did was suspend student loan payments being made. Um, I know I made some payments during that time. I know others who did. And you want to look for those payments. So how the language is laid out is, if you made payments between this time period, so pay attention to the time period, March 13th of 2020. So from March 13th, 2020 through August 23rd, last week, 2022, you can request a refund if, strong if you now owe less than the defined threshold, the $10,000 to $20,000. So I'm gonna say that again. You can request. So that means that's an action you have to take. They're not gonna automatically give you a refund, but you can request a refund if you made payments during the time student loans were on pause between March 13th, 2020 to August 23rd, 2022. So this is why you need to log into your federal student loan account and review your payment history. Like I said, I would download it. I would have my own copy of it so that you can request your refund when the time comes. Um, Also understand that if you qualify, you will have to call your servicer. Call your servicer, because written requests, which is so weird, but written requests will not be accepted. So you will have to call your servicer to make that request. You're basically going to say that you would like to request a refund for the payments you've made since the payment pause began. Now, this does include people who just learned that they will get their loans canceled through the cancellation, through the public service loan forgiveness program, as well as the public service loan forgiveness waiver, or the the IDR, I forgot, income driven review waiver. I think that's what the R stands for. I'm drawing a blank right now. But pack your patience again, because you need to allow for about 6 to 12 weeks. They're saying 6 to 12 weeks. I would say expect probably longer to get your refund. All right. So that is the next step you need to take. So just to go back and recap, you're going to sign up on the Department of Ed website at ed.gov/subscriptions to receive notifications on when the application date is, when it opens up. You're going to log into your federal student aid account at studentaid.gov. You're going to review your aid summary, looking at what your total loan, student loan summary is, as well as whether or not you received a Pell Grant and how much you received. You're going to make sure you have copies of all those details. And the third item we just talked about is reviewing your payment history, so that you can identify whether or not you made payments in case you forgot during the time student loan payments were on pause. But that is, again, only if you now owe less than $10,000 to $20,000, which is what the defined threshold is. Okay. Now, some people, based on what their current loan balances are, this threshold is going to um, basically wipe out their total balance. If you are one of those borrowers who will still have a balance afterwards, you want to see if you have not looked into the public service loan forgiveness program, the PSLF program. Then you want to look at it if you serve in the public service sector. So working for any public service, nonprofit type of company over the qualifying time, you definitely want to look into it. Also look into it, because if you haven't been paying attention, before this student loan announcement was made, there was a waiver put in place, I think, as of October last year, allowing people who did not qualify previously for the public service loan forgiveness program. It now opened the door for people to qualify. And those who've been following, I've seen people, I know people who have taken advantage of it, and they have gotten their loans forgiven. So the process has definitely improved from what it was before. I've submitted my stuff now. Granted, we're talking about the government. So I got something that I got to now resubmit because something was missing. So make sure you read the instructions. Make sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted, because it is not as straightforward of a process as you think it would be. But the devil is in the details. So make sure you're clear about that. Um, Thank you. I'm glad you finding this information helpful. I just want to get the information out, and I want to prompt you to take action, because if the time is now to take advantage of this rare opportunity, but one that's most needed. And like I said, I'm not going to get into that, because what really needs to happen is there needs to be some reform as it relates to our entire second post-secondary educational system. And that's a whole nother conversation when we start talking about how. Okay, yeah, let me not even go into that, because y'all gonna get me on a different soapbox. So a way to look at how to maximize this is, if your balance is beyond the threshold, is to see if you qualify for the public service loan forgiveness program. Go after that, pursue that process as well, as a way of getting your total balance eradicated as a whole. Okay. So those are the things I want to leave with you today, because those are things you can quickly do uh, now, that won't take a lot of time or effort. Because the time to be ready is not the time to get ready. So I want you to be in the position of readiness when the application period opens. So go ahead, get that taken care of. Tomorrow, I'll come back to you, and we'll talk about the private loans versus the federal loans. Because again, I know I've gotten those questions. What qualifies? So know that that is not a straight line as well. There are some different nuances connected to that part that may give someone who think they don't have options. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Dig in, get the data, get the information first before totally closing the door and thinking you don't qualify. So if there's a back door, we're gonna share it so that you can take advantage. But again, this is um, something I definitely want to encourage you to take advantage of. But the other side of that, that's probably going to be the last segment I do, talking about current and future college students, how to approach this. Because I can see people thinking already, oh, now I can really go and get student loans, because now we got this in place. And don't count, as my grandfather used to say, God rest his soul, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Because what's present today may not be present tomorrow. Better get the getting while the getting is good. So let's maximize the opportunity. But if you have a future college bound student, then we have to operate smarter until reform happens. Until reform happens, we're actually in position for this problem to repeat itself. But again, that's a whole nother conversation. So share your comments. If you have other questions, drop them in the chat. And what we'll do is we'll make sure we'll add it to the subsequent sessions that we're going to cover. Because like I said, we're breaking it down into different pieces so that you can get the information you need, so you can immediately take action and then start reaping the results. All right. Because again, our goal is college for free. Now, this is the first time those who already have college, who already graduated and already got loans, this is the first time some type of option has been put out there that has impacted a large number, um, beside the for-profit school situations and those loans being canceled. Um, but we cannot forget those who are college bound and how we operate going forward. So have a great rest of the evening. This is your favorite college for free coach. We're all about empowering, educating, and equipping you with the knowledge, the tools you need so that you can provide and guide your scholar on a path, in a direction that leads to a debt-free education. But know that that is not something that comes easy. It is not something that comes by accident. It comes by intentionality, by planning, and by discipline and consistency. So you have to have all those four elements in place in order for it to happen. But right now we're focusing on the latest news on student loan debt cancellation and looking at how to maximize it. All right. So until next time, remember, the time to be ready is not the time to get ready, but we must always position ourselves in a place to stay ready. Because when you stay ready, when opportunities come, you can immediately take action. You ain't got time to be talking about, oh no, this is the right opportunity. Now I gotta go get this stuff together. No, while you getting it together, somebody else is already taking your spot. So position yourself and always think, how can I stay in a position of readiness? This is your favorite college for free coach, the College Prep Boss. Until next time, Coach T is about to say, hasta luego. See you mañana. Thank you for joining. Share, encourage others to take the same action. Let us know what you think about the tips shared. I look forward to your comments.